What's happening, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the differences between living in Ghana, West Africa, and the United States of America. Coming right up. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted on my Facebook wall and I asked what kind of international student related content you would like to see on this channel. And one person requested that I do a video talking about the differences between living in Ghana, West Africa and living here in the United States. So today I wanted to show you all that. I listened to your opinion and I'm creating that content for you right now. So if you're ready, let's jump right into it. I've been living in the United States for 2 years plus now, and there's been so many different things that I'm used to back home in Ghana that I'm continuously adjusting to learn whilst being here. The reason is there are so many layers of social politics in this country to the extent that you can't just assume that what is normal in your home country is normal here. So here are some of the things that I found to be very different with living in Ghana and living in the United States. Obviously, there are so many differences that I cannot cover in this single video. I want this video to be short and straightforward, but also have enough information to create context. So here are 5 differences that I have found with living in Ghana and living in the United States. Share with us in the comment section below what differences you found with living in your home country and also living in the country where you currently reside. Again, let's all learn from the experience, whilst we also have some perspective. So the first difference is holding hands in public. In Ghana, it is normal for 2 people to hold hands in public without anybody reading deeper meaning into it. On a social level, holding hands in public shows people that both of you are walking or headed into the same direction or the same destination. So I could be walking home from church with my brother or my sister and we would hold hands, and that is totally normal in Ghana. In America, holding hands basically means that those 2 individuals are not shy to let people see them together. It is seen as an act of public display of affection, which basically means that the 2 people holding hands are in a romantic relationship, which I found interesting when I first came because I realized that most people would be walking in the same direction, but everybody would still keep to their separate lanes. So I started asking other people, I'm like, hey, why is it that this is like that? And they were like, yep, if you're holding hands with a girl or if you're holding hands with a guy in public, you are basically announcing to, the people around that both of you are together and you're in a relationship. So that is one difference between living in Ghana and living in the United States. The second difference with living in Ghana and living in the United States has to do with asking a guy or a girl to have coffee with you. It could be coffee, it could be drink, it could be beer, but literally asking a girl or a guy to hang out with you is a big deal. So in Ghana, you can literally ask a girl that you met at an event, maybe church or something, that hey, let's go have coffee or let's go grab lunch. And this is basically 2 individuals getting to spend time across the table from each other and getting to know each other, starting to build a friendship process, which is again taking on a face value 2 individuals sitting down and talking about life. However, when you come into the United States and you ask a girl, let's go have coffee, that could mean 20 million things in their mind. Again, it is the social structure. Every society has its own language and its own meaning and context. So if you met a girl in church or at an event and you wanted to get to know that girl better, and you asked her, hey, let's go have coffee tomorrow. In her mind, it's more like, I'm trying to get to know you and pursue you and build a relationship with you. But in Ghana, it's just, let's hang out. Let's see what comes out of it. And I did not know this, and I had to learn the hard way. So I had this friend, and anytime I go to buy chicken, we'll have conversation. So one day I was like, hey, let's go have coffee. And what intrigued me about this young lady was the fact that she buys old trucks and cars and she fixes them. I was intrigued and I wanted to get to talk to her outside of the work environment, which she could get into trouble with anyway, and just have conversation with her. That was it. the brick wall came, she started avoiding me. So I never understood until I started talking to my boss at work at the time, and I was like, hey Amanda, you know, I have been having conversation with this young lady, and I asked her, let's go have a drink, and she literally shut down on me, and she was like, no, in this country, let's go have a drink could mean so many different things. So I find that to be a very interesting difference with living in Ghana, where I can literally tell a girl, let's go have a drink, and then in America, I have to be very careful in trying to define what that let's go have a drink actually means, so that we are on the same level playing field. So if you've experienced any of these cultural differences or social differences, share with us in the comment section below what those differences were and how you felt about it, or how you adjusted to it to make your international educational experience better. The third difference is being able to return an item that you bought from the store. So in Ghana, it is difficult and sometimes almost impossible, depending on where you bought the item and the kind of item that you bought, to return that item if you don't like it. Here is the reason. Most of the stores in Ghana will literally put a disclaimer on their windows or in the store that reads, goods sold are not returnable, which means that even if you buy whatever item it is and you step outside of the store after paying and you go back and tell them, you know what, upon second thought, I don't want this item, they are not taking it. This is based on last time I was there, so I don't know if things have changed and stores are becoming more dynamic and being acceptable. Also, if you go into the marketplace or you are sitting in the car and you buy anything on the street from the street hawkers. Now the street hawkers are young guys and girls who hawk stuff like bottled water, gum, toffees, anything, handkerchiefs, whatever. If you buy anything from these people, and especially the market people, there's no way you are going to get your money back. It's a one-time buy offer situation. So that is the situation with returning items that you've bought in Ghana. When you come to the United States, oh my goodness, thank God for Amazon and 30 days free return. Any item that you buy, or at least majority of the things that you buy, you can return. Actually, when you're on the website, it tells you this is eligible for free returns within the first 30 days. So you can buy a pair of shoes or a dress, try it out. If it doesn't fit well, or if you found a better color or a better offer, all you have to do is talk to customer service and they'll process a return label for you. So that is another difference when it comes to returning goods or items that you've bought in Ghana and returning items that you've bought in the United States. I have enjoyed returning stuff because sometimes you buy the thing and then you are not feeling the vibe anymore, so you just have to return it. I would never try that in Ghana. I have to think hard before I actually pay if I was in Ghana. So that, like I said, is the third difference. So before I get into my next difference, let's give a shout out to today's video sponsor. This video is sponsored by Barline Music. So Barline Music has a state-of-the-art studio that will cater for all your recording needs, from demos to jingles to voiceovers to full-time music recording and production. Barline Music also has a mobile studio where they can come to any place of your choice and work on your audio production. They also have a live saxophone service that caters for all of your live events, weddings, funerals, engagements, whatever. Contact Barline Studios on the numbers listed in the description below. The fourth difference with living in the United States and living in Ghana is the fact that the transportation systems are different. So in Ghana, the transportation system is mainly dominated by the private sector. So there are different sizes and colors of buses, and these buses do not really stick to a particular schedule. So the buses and the taxis move from the station as soon as the buses are full. So there's nothing like timing and all of that. I know the government started a bus project where they had like the Metro Mass Transit, which was running on a schedule. But because of the traffic situation in Ghana, especially on early Monday mornings and late Friday evenings, these traffic situations also affect the schedules of the buses, which means that if a bus is due to arrive at 8:15 at the bus stop where you are catching the bus could arrive at 8:30 or 8:45, which is huge because then you cannot calculate ETA. However, the difference with that when you come to the United States is that the buses are usually on schedule like clockwork. Yes, there might be situations where the bus might be delayed a little bit, but you are guaranteed that if you are at your bus stop catching bus 5, bus 5 is going to be there at least at 9 a.m, latest by 9:05. So you are able to properly plan your trips and schedules and stuff like that. In Ghana, the buses do not have air conditions. Again, some private buses might have air conditions, but that is also going to affect the fare that you have to pay. In the United States, buses have heat or air condition depending on the time of the year, i.e. the weather. So during winter, when you're on the bus, there is heat, which makes it comfortable. And during the summer, when the weather is much warmer, there's always air condition in the bus. So my friends, if you are traveling from the United States to Ghana and you are going to be on the bus, make sure you have a fan to fan yourself, because sometimes it gets a little bit uncomfortable, but it's fun. The fifth difference with living in the United States and living in Ghana has to do with school. So when you school in Ghana, there's so many differences. It's a cohort-based system, which means that if 20 people enter the university as freshmen, those same group of people will move together till they graduate at the end of their 3 years or 4 years education. They take the same classes. Classes are pre-made for each year or with each level of your education. But when it comes to the United States, it is not like that. The fact that you entered school with the same person does not mean that all of you are going to graduate the same year. Reason is, you can afford to take a year off, you can afford to take 2 years off and come back, which is beautiful because maybe life happens, something happens and you need to take a break mentally or financially. Again, in the United States, when you are schooling, the chances of you taking a class as a master's student or a PhD student with a master's level student or an undergraduate level student is high, because you get to pick and choose your classes so long as those classes do not have restrictions on them. Even if they have restrictions, some of the restrictions require you to reach out to the professor and ask special permission. So for instance, I took a class in 2018 and that was literally one of the culture shocks that I faced. I thought it was going to be a graduate level class, but apparently that class was actually listed as an undergraduate level class. So that's one difference. And what makes it beautiful is the fact that if you are a master's student or a PhD student and you are taking classes with undergraduate students, they get the opportunity to learn something from you. They get the opportunity to learn something from a different perspective, which was absolutely amazing for me being in that situation. Alright, so one last thing that I feel to mention is that in Ghana, people don't ask you what is your preferred name. People generally will literally give you a nickname based on your first name. For instance, if you are called Steven, they'll call you Steve. If you are called Richard, people automatically call you Rich. And based on the social norms, you tend to respond and you tend to embrace that. In the United States, you cannot assume that Stephanie wants to be called Steph or Joshua wants to be called Josh. It was one of the things that I literally had to learn, asking people what names they would prefer to be called by. Again, an interesting phenomenon, but it makes life beautiful. So I'm not doing this video to compare and contrast. This video is basically me sharing my experiences. I believe also that the way I grew up in Ghana has helped build me and shape my way of thinking and my way of appreciation towards life in general. So my friends, these are my 5 differences with living in the United States and living in Ghana, West Africa. Definitely I'll bring a part 2 of this video because there are so many differences that I'm yet to talk about. But kindly share with us in the comment section below any differences that you've experienced whilst living in your home country and whilst living in the country you currently reside. Don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share this video amongst your community. And again, that is how we become globally engaged. Until I see you on the next one, continue staying safe, continue being each other's keeper, and I will see you. Peace.